All right, so the point slope formula is written on the board over there and over here. It is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so the x and the y are going to stay variables. What does that mean?
Stay as y.
Yep, they stay as letters. Variables. So the ones that don't have ones attached to them. The ones that don't have ones. And then the ones that do have ones are going to be numbers. So you'll be given a point. So we'll plug in numbers for those. And then M stands for what?
Slope.
Slope. Okay, so the first type that we get are really simple. They give you a point and they give you a slope, hence the name point slope form. It just is about what is given to you. So my point is 4, 1. I label that x1, y1. That's where I get my numbers from, the x1, y1 values. And then my slope is 2, so what letter does that represent? M. So my m is equal to 2. So all you do is plug it into our point slope form. So remember, my first y just stays a variable. So I'm doing y minus y1. What's my y1 value? 1. What's my slope? 2. And then in your parentheses, you do x minus, what's your x1 value? 4. So you'll notice we're doing opposite signs of whatever's in the parentheses there. Okay, so that is point slope form, but we have to get it back into slope intercept form, which is what?
Y equals mx.
Y equals mx plus b. So we have to convert it to y equals mx plus b. So what would be the first step of doing that?
Get y.
Getting y by itself, but what do we have to do to this side? Distribute. So let's distribute that too. So I get y minus 1 equals 2x minus what? Minus 8. And now I can do that last step of adding the 1. Just to the like terms. So my final answer is y equals
2x minus
2x minus 7.
7.
So you plug it into point slope, and then you convert it back to y equals mx plus b. Go ahead and try example 2. What is my slope here? 1/2. And here's my x1, y1. When I distribute that 1/2, what is that the same thing as doing? Divide it by 2, or take half of something. So I'll pause and let you guys do that one. Okay, so you got y equals 1/2 x plus 3 there, which most of us did. We're going to skip those other 2 examples there and move on to when you're given 2 points. So we obviously have a point given to us, but what is missing? The slope. So what do I have to do?
Do it 2 times.
I got to find the slope. How do I find slope if I have 2 points? The slope formula, which is what?
Y2 minus
y2 minus
y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. You should remember how to do that, so I'll give you a second to find your slope here. Okay, find your slope. It's rolling. Show like your steps.
It's wrong.
So circle.
What?
Yeah, that one is.
I didn't use somebody else back here with negative one.
Maybe
I tried to use it for in class. I was like, I tried to use it.
We can simplify it.
It's like
Okay, you should have gotten a slope of -2. That's a review of our slope formula. Should have gotten a slope of -2, so compare with my work, see what happened there. We had a -1 minus 7, so that's a -8. And then 1 minus a -3 is plus, so 1 plus 3 is 4. And then we simplify to get -2. So I have my slope. Do you think it matters which point we use here? Nope, it doesn't. Which one looks easier? Which one looks easier?
first one.
Y equals two
Doesn't
x
matter.
minus
Just pick which one you want to do and do that. I think one looks easier than the other, but it doesn't matter because I want us to try both anyway. So pick which one you like and let's plug it in to our point slope formula.
-1.
Do whatever you want. But we're going to plug it into our point slope formula, which is what? That's our y minus y1. So choose whichever point you want. Should still get the same answer either way. Choose a point and plug it into our point slope formula. Choose a point, it gives you 2. Choose one of those and plug it in, just like we did with the beginning. Plug it in. Y minus the y value. We're using these two variables.
Plug what? You do what you did on that. You do the y minus. You pick the value of x. Then you do the
Oh, yeah,
y
that's
minus one. And then you put the slope right there.
Okay, I thought the -1 looked easier, so that's the point that I chose. So I did 1 minus my y value of -1, which turns it to a what? Positive. And then I have -2 times x minus my x value of 1. Everyone okay with that? Did anybody else choose the other point?
I did.
Okay, did you? We'll see if we got the same answer. So we have to distribute this -2. So I have right now y plus 1 equals -2x plus, -2x plus 2. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
And then what's the last step? Subtract 1, so we get y equals -2x plus 1. Did you get the same thing? Okay. So again, it doesn't matter which point you use, you'll still get the same answer. So I'm going to pause the video here and let you guys try just number 6 on your own, and then we'll move on to the last page. Sit up. We're almost done.
That's the end of that.
We're almost done.
Okay, so we're going to write an equation parallel to the line given to us, which is y equals 2x plus 4, and they gave us a point. So we are going to use point slope form here. First thing we want to notice is we're looking for a parallel line. So what determines if lines are parallel?
Basically the same.
They have the same slope. They have the same slope. Okay, so that means I need the slope of my original line. So if my line is y equals 2x plus 4, what is my original slope? What is the slope of that line?
2.
Yes.
2.
2. It's the number attached to x if it's y equals mx plus b. So my m, or my slope, is 2. that means we're going to use the same slope. So we're going to use 2 as my slope to find a parallel line. So there's my slope. It gives me my point, x1, y1. So if I have a point and a slope, what formula am I going to use? If I have a point and a slope, I'm going to use the point-slope formula. So we're going to do y minus, what's my y1? Good, plus 1. And then we're doing my slope, which is 2. And then x minus a negative 4, which is really just plus 4. And then do we know what to do from here?
Yes.
Distribute.
Distribute and get y by itself. So I'll give you a second to do that.
Distribute.
Yeah,
Wait, where's the slope point on?
It's on that wall, on the word wall, and it's already.
No, I don't. No,
It's on the word. See the piece of paper on the wall? You don't see the big piece of paper on the wall.
no.
Right there.
That's a
Big
board.
piece.
That's a paper.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Do we get y equals 2x plus 7?
Yes.
Okay, and that's our answer. So that was a very simple example. We distribute that 2 and then subtract 2.
Man, I didn't.
Okay, our next one, what is my slope of this line? First of all, am I looking for parallel or perpendicular? Parallel, so I'm looking for the same slope. So what's my original slope? Negative 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2. My point is negative 6, 1, so we are ready to plug into our point slope formula. So I'll give you a second to set that up, and then I'll go through it with you. You might want to stay a little more. Okay, I'll solve it with you, but if you can just at least put how many in. Good. Good. Don't forget it's negative 5 over 2. It's a plus. Good. Okay, you should have what I have on the board, which most of us did. When we start distributing, it gets a little tricky with our fractions, but I prefer working with fractions as opposed to decimals. So I know that I can bring down my y minus 7. When I distribute there, I get negative 5 half x. You're always more than welcome to put it in decimal form, but I like fractions. So we multiply the tops together. So what's negative 5 times 6? Negative 5 times 6 is negative 30. I just kind of write that out there. And then we're going to divide by the bottom number. So what's negative 30 divided by 2? Negative 15.
Can you just use a calculator?
So we have y minus 7 equals negative 5 over 2x minus 15. And what's the last step? Add the 7. So my final answer would be y equals negative 5 half x minus 8.
Your handwriting is so we keep switching to the opposite.
For these,
What, like, yeah.
yeah, so whatever your value is, it'll be the opposite. Okay, you have one last one to do. Oh, just kidding. No, you don't. We have 2, and they're different. Sorry. So the next ones are what? Perpendicular. What do I know about perpendicular slopes?
Negative.
They are negative. Negative reciprocals is the vocab word that's on your wall. And that means I do what to it? I flip it and change the sign. So we need my original slope here, which is what? 3 over 4. So to change it to its perpendicular slope, I flip it and change the sign. So if it's positive 3 over 4, it's going to change to negative 4 over 3. Okay, so we ignore my original slope. I want to use my new slope, and from that, that's the only additional step there. So here's my x1, y1, and we do the exact same thing. So I'll let you plug into our.
What do we at?
I'll pause here to let you try that one. Okay, make sure you check your answers with the ones on the board, and that's the lesson.